Thank you very much. My name is Lamin Jai. So we're here at the Makati Square in Banjul, where President Adama Barrow will momentarily launch his COVID-19 food support. As you can see, the president has arrived here to launch this massive initiative. There are thousands and thousands of bags of rice and sugar here, really. So the president will launch this initiative, which will target thousands of households in this country. So you can see thousands of bags of rice and sugar that here. We have a very strong press pool here at the Makati Square. That's President Adama Barrow there. He has entered the square now, greeting his vice president there. That's the president there greeting his vice president there. So this is the situation at the square. So the president conversing with his vice president there. The vice president actually has been here since morning as the rice and sugar started arriving. Really, thousands and thousands of bags of rice and sugar here. So this is coming on the back of calls for the president to really come up with a relief package for Gambians amid this coronavirus pandemic there. So the president is responding today with the launch of this initiative, this food aid or food support initiative there. You can see the president what we have been made to understand is that we have at least 10,000 bags of rice here and also 10,000 bags of sugar. So you have also an impressive number of ministers here. You have the Secretary General, Mr. Jallo. You have Musa Drame, Lands Minister. You have the Finance Minister, Mamburin Jai. The Health Minister, too, is here. All of them here, really, to be part of this launch. So we have a new update. What we have been made to understand is that the launch event will not take place today. The president will not launch the initiative today because the work is not yet done. The number of bags of rice and sugar that's supposed to be here has all not arrived. So meaning the president is just here to inspect. And tomorrow is when he will do the launching. That's tomorrow, Sunday, is when he will come back. He will return to the square to do the official or the formal launch of the COVID-19 food support initiative there. So the president now is there speaking with his vice president. So that's the president leaving there after inspecting the rice and the sugar there. So we will try to talk to the vice president and maybe see what he has to say about the president's inspection there. Madam Vice President, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So we are going to do some sort of a observe the social distancing protocol there. Madam Vice President, we have seen the president come here at the Makati Square to inspect this initiative there. The president was supposed to launch the initiative today, but what we have seen is that has not happened. Can you tell us what is really happening?
Well, indeed, without much ado, you already know what is happening. Looking at the environment where we are trying to provide all the things that are prepared to send to the population in terms of relief with regards to the COVID. As a result, we have to make sure that under this emergency, everything is put together. We had logistical difficulties because the amount of materials that are needed, rice, sugar, oil are in very huge quantities because almost the whole country is going to be supplied with this food, and therefore this is just the beginning. We need to bring some of these things so that the president will have the time to address the nation and inform them about the COVID package that he is releasing to them. That is why we are here today. Everything we want to do it with transparency. We want to do it with due diligence, following the due processes. That is why today he was advised to wait until tomorrow at 12 o'clock to address the nation. And then from here, lorries and trucks will move in different directions of the country to reach out to the various regions. The governors are going to be responsible in taking a lead in this, together with the chiefs and the alcalolus, with some supporters around who will be observers, so that they would implement these things effectively and efficiently to each and every individual household in the Gambia. So there is nothing but the preparations that we are putting into it. And as you can see, labor was a challenge. You will find that most of the young people who are offloading and uploading are not Gambians. And this is a bitter experience that I have seen as a vice president. When I listen to the radio and TV, what I hear, the young people and people complaining about unemployment for the young. And for the last 2-3 days, we have been looking for laborers who can come and be paid. It's not that they are not going to be paid, but there is hardly any Gambian who is here. All these people you are seeing uploading and offloading are Guineans, Malians, Senegalese, or Sierra Leoneans, and other nationalities. You see, so this is a big surprise. To say that there is no job, this is a great job. The amount of work that these people are going to do, they're going to earn a lot of money here, and they will also, this is dignified, but it is a difficulty. That's why it is taking time, because the numbers are not much, and therefore we have to do with the number that we have.
So, Madam Vice President, so
that you've been very instrumental in coordinating this effort since yesterday and day before yesterday, and now we've almost come to the tail end. Now, how challenging has this been for you? And looking at it, we've almost got, as you said, we've almost got to the tail end. How important is this?
Yes, I think it is a great honor for the president to delegate me. He gave me a delegated responsibility to chair the COVID ministerial subcommittee. And since then, it's a response to the nation and to the COVID pandemic, which is a global problem, but Gambia cannot be left behind. But he is taking the right direction, made me the chairperson as the vice president to lead this ministerial subcommittee and other sectors to support the Ministry of Health, which is the lead institution that has to deal with the COVID. You also have the humanitarian response. I think what you are seeing now is the humanitarian dimension that we are now implementing. But the health dimension has been implemented right from the word go. You have followed progress as to what the Ministry of Health is doing. The Minister for Health, Dr. Samate, has been briefing. His team also, the communication unit, and also different experts have been under the Ministry of Health addressing. So for me, it is a challenge, but a challenge that can turn the Gambia around. It's an opportunity to COVIDize development, the National Development Plan, to strengthen our institutions. For example, the health sector, from this situation, might come out to be one of the health sectors that will respond to all the needs that we were fighting for the past years. You also come to agriculture, you come to education, you come to all other sectors. So it is a challenge, but a challenge, we have to turn it positive. It's a very positive challenge for the fact that the whole world is supporting each other because it's a global issue. And you could see the synergy around. Resources are being leveraged by the government using the tax money, payers' monies, with including the grants that we are getting, and also the soft loans that we are getting from other the dimensions. So this has put us together in unity of purpose and direction to respond to the population, and I think it is towards the right direction.
Madam Vice President, specifically, can you tell us, you talked about the quantity being huge there. Can you tell us how much, many bags of rice and sugar your government intends, or the president intends to distribute to Gambians? That is number one. And the other question has to be with the timing. There are a lot of people out there who said the president has been quite slow in terms of coming up with this relief package. What do you really have to say about that?
You have more than 326,000 tons of rice that is going, and equally sugar. And also you have oil also. I can't remember the tonnage. Quite a number. Every household is going to benefit based on their numbers. It is not slow. Slow like what? If you don't plan, you cannot be effective. You know, people are used to this haphazard approach. Let it be and it be. It's only God who can do that. As human beings, to strengthen the institutions and to change our work ethics, we must plan, we must use statistics, we must analyze. Even though it is an emergency, we have stretched ourselves. The ministerial subcommittee sometimes stays up to 8, 9. The technical team sometimes spend the night working on their documents so that they produce the document within the shortest possible time. If people have to understand that it is no longer what it used to be. For you to say do this, you will either be abusing somebody's money, you will be abusing somebody's rights, or you are doing the wrong thing. The Gambia has gone beyond that. This government is a democracy, and therefore we have to follow the rule of law, we have to follow due processes and deliver the goods to the people. I think people have to learn to be patient, to exercise some element of patience to allow us to do things in the right way. And this is what this government is doing. I know when people are hungry, you cannot tell them to wash their hands. But we must also be aware of the fact that COVID was a big surprise for everybody. It was an unexpected phenomenon, a phenomenon that affected even those with the robust health sectors, like Europe. And those who have the resources cannot cope effectively with much more Gambia. We are doing everything that we can within the realms and availability of the resources we have, and within the partnership that we have with different donor agencies and the international partners to move within using the best practices.
Madam Vice President, right now we have to ask how much money have been spent during this project.
I think Minister of Finance will be able to provide that, because we all have our roles and responsibilities. At the end of the day, that money will be accounted for. There is no doubt about that, because this is a government of rule of law, transparency and accountability.
Is it the money of the president or the...
One of the reasons for the delay was the issue of gathering the data. How difficult was it for your committee to get the actual data in order to come up with this actual number for Gambia?
You see, you need data for everything. It's not about difficulty. It's a question of process. It's a question of procedure. So people think that when they say data, automatically you can generate it and get it. It is not about that. Remember, we came and inherited an institution. A country was inherited with all the institutions killed. Nothing was going on. Even data that was stored was no longer there. Everything has been vandalized. And now we are trying to put up the data. All the necessary institutions that we are supposed to provide the data, like the GBOS, NANA, our partners, and all the sectoral data were put together. It requires coordination. That's why we have been coordinating. It's not that we were slow in doing it. When you want to do a good job, you must follow the procedure, and people must learn to be patient. If you want to learn A, B, and C, you follow procedures. You don't just are not born and just say, kun fayakun is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who can do it. Then that is what this population want us to do. We do not have that. But we are doing whatever we can to make sure that we put the things in perspectives, so that when people are talking, sometimes when people criticize, if you criticize constructively, that could be understood. But if you want to make unnecessary demands that you know will not go well, I don't think we have to encourage that. We are now dealing, we are into COVID. We don't know when COVID is going to end. If we don't get our facts right, if we don't get our data right and make them available, how are we going to respond? Is it going to stop at this? No. We don't know. Even post-COVID is there. So I want the population to be patient, to understand that this is a phenomenon that affected everybody, that was touching everybody, and we are trying to respond to it as much as we can. And the government is very aware of that. And I think this is evidence of what we are doing. Under this emergency situation, it's a global emergency, but we are doing it almost everywhere, and we are covering the whole country. Covering the whole country and reaching every household.
Madam Vice President,
thank you very much. So that's the Vice President there speaking to reporters there. So the launch will take place tomorrow at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So thank you very much. My name is